Oh boy, this is exciting because the compact pickup truck segment is heating up again. And this is 2024 New York Auto Show, and this is the updated, refreshed 2025 Hyundai Santa Cruz World debut. And the beautifully orange-red color here, this model is the new XRT off-road ready model. Just look at that tow hook right there in the front poking through this grille. Both of them, both tow hooks. So in this video, I'm going to do a couple things. This is quite exciting segment because it's growing. The new Santa Cruz, of course, is fighting against the new Ford Maverick, which I'll show you in this video as well, how they compare. But I want to focus my first part of the video on some of the changes because Hyundai changed the styling, they changed the interior, they changed some of the XRT features, as you can see here. So it's kind of a fresh new look, an update for 2025. So in the front here, it may not be obvious exactly what they did, but if you put it next to an older one, you will notice that the headlamp signature is a little bit different. And also the front is a lot more upright. It's just really, really tough looking now, in my opinion, and really truck-like right now. So I'm welcoming this design change, especially switching up and poking these through. Very purposeful and very interesting. Of course, the tires, since this is kind of an all-terrain off-road model of the new Santa Cruz, they had the XRT before, and this is the latest iteration of it. This is the Continental Terrain Contact AT All-Terrain Traction Plus tire, and it wraps this 18-inch wheel, which is a new design, and it's got a very peculiar kind of bolt or wrench kind of hugging the bolt pattern. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like this new wheel design? I think it kind of stands out, especially from afar, and it kind of grounds the vehicle quite nicely. I'm loving this color too. We had a lot of experience with the Santa Cruz. We had a long-term loan from Hyundai. Nathan, our very own Nathan Adlin, owns one of these. So we've towed with these. So the powertrain choices basically remain the same. A 2.5 liter turbo like in this one with all-wheel drive, or also a 2.5 liter standard non-turbo engine. So the standard horsepower is around 191 and the turbocharged horsepower is around 281. And different transmissions still. The dual clutch for the turbo and the standard automatic 8-speed, both 8 speeds for the non-turbo. So as far as powertrains are concerned, it's about the same. You saw that new XRT badge right there. Now let me show you inside because this is quite different. And I think if you love the current Santa Cruz, you're going to be really impressed. And I am impressed as well. So the steering wheel is slightly different design. And now it has dual 12.3-inch screens. So kind of a curved wraparound screen that everybody seems to be doing. And they also, sorry, let me turn this off. They also have a return of more knobs and buttons. So the volume, the tuning knob, the select and the map, the shortcuts, and also the climate control system right here is all physical controls. I love that, and I think Nathan would love this as well. There's a shelf right here in the dash, push button start. Your transmission shifter seems about like it was, drive modes, center locking differential, and latest driver assistance technologies. There's even a little eye monitor here for driver assistance technologies. As you can see, lane keep. And they're adding a lot of these technologies standard. They also unveiled the refreshed Tucson, which is basically a sister vehicle to this. And in the presentation, they were saying how they're kind of doubling down on safety technologies and trying to really add it in every vehicle. So This is a welcome change. Paddle shifters. This is basically one of the most expensive ones you can find. The current 2024 Santa Cruz starts at around 26,000 plus change, maybe a little bit more with destination charges, and the fully loaded XRT models could be about $41,000 or $42,000 or maybe even more. So I'm loving this interior change. The rear, of course, hasn't changed much. After driving these, it really feels like a crossover. So it doesn't really feel like a little pickup truck. It feels like a crossover with a bed, which is a good thing because it's really comfy and quiet and comfortable and sure-footed. So those are all the positives. It can tow up to 5,000 pounds. This one doesn't have a hitch, but if it did, with a specific configuration, it could tow up to 5,000 pounds with a turbocharged engine. And the rating is lower with a non-turbo. So, you saw what Hyundai is doing? Now let me show you what's up with the Maverick, because the Maverick outsells the Santa Cruz basically 3-1. So let's go see the Maverick. There it is. What you see right there is, of course, the Ford Maverick. This model is a 2023 XLT. It's basically the same as a 2024. And unfortunately, Ford has not yet unveiled the 2025 update. We've seen some spy images and spy photography of the potentially updated Maverick, but there's no official word. So this is what we have currently to go on. Like I was saying, for pricing on the new 2025 Santa Cruz, we don't have the final numbers yet, but the current Santa Cruz for 2024 starts at around 26,000, just a little bit over that. Well, the Maverick starts at 23,815 bucks. I believe that's with destination, but I may be wrong. Maybe with destination it's a little bit more. So it's a little bit more affordable than the base Santa Cruz. And that price gives you a turbocharged engine. So I think what Ford is doing here is that they're going after really aggressively after customers with options and pricing. So for 23.8, or basically 24 grand, a little bit over that, you get 250 horsepower, 8-speed automatic, and this little compact pickup. This has, of course, some accessories like the sports bar you see in the back, and the interior is still about the same. Now, if you have a little bit more money, you could get the hybrid version as well. Let me turn off the lights. And I believe this is the hybrid. Yes, it is the hybrid. So for about, $1,000 or $1,500 extra, you can get a hybrid powertrain, which is super efficient. You would get upwards of 40 mpg in the city. Although you cannot get, still in 2024, you cannot get a hybrid all-wheel drive system. So Ford, I think that's one of the reasons why Ford is selling almost over 90,000 of these a year now, and they're increased production, and they're ready to build a lot more of these and sell a lot more of these. If this was a turbocharged engine with a towing pack, it could tow up to 4,000 pounds, so it's about 1,000 pounds less than a Santa Cruz. The hybrid tows a little bit less still. The beds are kind of comparable, although there's a little bit more access here because it doesn't have a sliding tonneau cover like the Santa Cruz. Really roomy on the inside here as well. And of course, we've tested the Maverick extensively. We've towed with them. We did a lot with these little trucklets. Let me close the door and turn on the dash so you can see a little bit more of the dash. It's a little bit more truck-like. So if the Santa Cruz feels like a crossover, just driving in a very kind of calm way, this thing, especially in certain versions of it, feels a little bit more like a little tiny truck. They have similar payload numbers, about between 1,400 and 1,500 pounds, so really great payloads. And like I said before, this is the XLT, so this is kind of the mid-grade version of it and the smaller screen here. So the rumor is that Ford is going to update the screen, increase some of the options, make it a little bit more fancy. But I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a great thing, because, you know, I would rather they still keep the price down, you know, starting at $24,000 for a front-wheel drive turbo, and kind of forget about a lot of fancy stuff. This does have knobs, of course, for volume and tune, and knobs for the climate control system, so it's pretty traditional in that respect. Yeah, so this is very interesting. Let me get out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which one would you buy? Would you buy the Santa Cruz, or even the more updated Santa Cruz? I think it's going to be about similar price as before. Or would you buy a Ford Maverick? Currently the Maverick is winning on sales, like I said, but of course there are many different elements that go into it. Maybe Hyundai doesn't want to produce a lot more Santa Cruzes, or maybe they will in the future. Who knows? So stay tuned. This is heating up, like I said. This is very exciting. And I'll catch you next time for all the coverage from the New York Auto Show, also the Easter Jeep Safari, and all the latest news in one place, which is alltfl.com. Thank you very much.